basketball, old school Big 8 to Big 12, now Big 10. Same thing with us. When I grew up, there were certain games that everybody knew who you were going to play. And that was important because you talk about those all year, especially when you're in a football crazed state or a sports crazed state in general. You talk about those things all year round. I think it makes a huge deal for programs. I think tying rivalries in is a lot of fun for fans. It's a lot of fun for players.
Is it big during the week or is it big the other 51 weeks?
I think it's bigger the other 51 weeks. I mean, it's obviously big during the week. This always stuck with me. John Gruden, when I got drafted to Tampa Bay, I didn't really know the rivalries down there. NFC South, it was Carolina. And he told me, he goes, you got drafted here for one reason, to play this game. Play against Carolina. That was one reason you're here. So it is important, but in our sport, I really believe it's more important the other 365 days to get yourself motivated to work. The week of, that's the routine starting to set in. It gives you a little extra juice maybe sometimes, but I think it helps you even more the other 364 days.
Coach Chris Kolarvik, can you just talk about what he brings to the room and his development, I guess, coming from UNI?
Yeah, I mean, he brings he came from UNI, but has a lot of playing experience. They played really good football at UNI. He shows played Iowa State extremely tough the first game. We saw that. He's well coached. He came in here knowing football. His biggest thing, he had to learn new terminology. A lot of times when you go to new systems, a lot of times they do things similar, but they call it something different. It's like learning Spanish. But no, he's been a great addition to the room. Fits in well. It's been fun to coach.
What do you think some of his biggest strengths are?
I think football understanding, football IQ is definitely at the top of the list. Knows how to work, knows how to practice, and pretty well-rounded guy. I mean, he's knows how to cover, knows how to play the run, keys things pretty well. So he's a pretty well-rounded player.
You're able to get a lot of guys in the game with your group. I guess after the starters or that top group, what was your evaluation of some of the younger guys that got their first game experience?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they played how I expected they would. They were pretty clean, mistake-free, played hard. I thought Ativa did a really good job running to the ball. Snoz was really solid, and that's kind of what I expected when they went in. They've been doing a good job all offseason, all camp, so I expected there not to be very much drop-off at all.
You had mentioned Ativa a couple times where he's shown some flashes. I think we saw a little bit of that in that game with just his speed to the football. Is that kind of the dynamic he brings, just that athleticism and quickness to the football?
He plays hard. He's got a good nose for the football, and he's not a guy you have to get going. He plays hard all the time. He gets to the football, and honestly, his understanding the defense is really, really improved as well. He's a smart football player, so he's done a nice job. I've been excited about it.
Buffalo, obviously, their running game immediately jumps out, even with the new staff. I guess the challenge for you guys, knowing that they're probably going to want to try to control the game on the ground, and what's been the message for you?
Yeah, they got a good run game. They got really good backs, and they got experienced offensive linemen that know how to play football. I think, even though I want to say it's like 2 returning starters, I want to say, but a lot of those guys have played a lot. They do a good job, and this game will be a big part of it is stopping the run and tackling really well, because those backs do a nice job of, if you hit them at the line of scrimmage, they fall forward, and you got to prevent that, because 3rd and 7/8 is a lot easier than 3rd and 2. So we're expecting them to be really physical, run the ball, and we got to be able to match their physicality.
It's another one of those games where you really can't overlook this opponent, regardless of the game you have coming up next, just because of how good Buffalo has been in past years.
Yeah, Buffalo's really good. Yeah, there's no overlooking anybody. We're extremely excited about this game. We know what kind of team they are. They won their conference last year. Doing a really good job. The first game they were, they got up early, but they played well. They played well in all phases, and it's going to be a big challenge.